You don't want to miss what's coming up right after this. Now, I'd like to say there's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to try to find it just for you right here on Mad Money. I'm Jim Cramer. See you tomorrow. The news with Shepard Smith starts now.
Good evening. I'm Shepard Smith on CNBC, and this is the news. And right now, on a brand new newscast, we'd normally play the best sound and video from the debate, right? That's the lead, the back and forth from the president and the man who wants to replace him. And then we show and tell you what else we face as a nation, because there's a lot. That produced open, as we call it. About a minute. It's fast, there's music, it's compelling and rich with emotion, and that was our plan. That's what we'll usually do, but as it turns out, in this moment, that's just the noise. You've heard it, and we need to cut through it. You've told us what you think about the debate. We have CNBC overnight polls just in, and we'll share. Truth is, there's never been such a thing as last night. A first official introduction of the two
from really any source. And in fact, mail-in ballots are the safest and most secure way in many cases to cast your vote this year in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, mail-in ballots have been used, of course, in different ways in different states, but for decades now as a safe, secure way for folks to vote and make their voices heard in our democracy.
And Shep, in New Mexico, they say they saw a spike in mail-in balloting during the primary season earlier this year. They say there was some confusion among voters about how to execute those ballots, and they say they've streamlined that process now, and they're ready for Election Day, Shep.
All right, that's election fraud. What about cyber threats? How real and how worried?
You know, that is one area where election observers say there are some concerns going into this election, particularly on the area of ransomware. Now, that's when a hacker reaches in and steals the data out of a company or a government database and doesn't give it up until they get paid a bribe. That's one area that observers are concerned about. The other one is social media hacking, when hackers steal the accounts of high-profile people and post tweets or things on Facebook that make it look like something is happening that's not really actually happening. That could sow some confusion on Election Day, and officials say they're on the lookout for both of them.
The Proud Boys are what the Anti-Defamation League calls a violent, nationalistic, Islamophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, anti-immigration hate group. As I mentioned, some of them were in Charlottesville, where President Trump said there were very fine people on both sides before later backtracking. Now he's doing the same on the Proud Boys this afternoon, claiming ignorance.
I don't know who the Proud Boys are. I mean, you'll have to give me a definition because I really don't know who they are. I can only say they have to stand down, let law enforcement do their work.
So, Mr. President, did you misspeak when you said stand by? That's my first question.
Just stand by. Look, law enforcement will do their work. They're going to stand down. They have to stand down. Everybody. They have to stand, whatever group you're talking about.
That happened after there'd been calls last night and all morning into the early afternoon for the president to clarify what he had said. And there it is. But the group was already celebrating the Proud Boys and living off his words from the debate. A New York Times correspondent tweeted an updated logo of the Proud Boys. Look at this. This is the one they're using, with the president's words emblazoned like a slogan: stand back, stand by. Today, a reporter asked Vice President Joe Biden what he thought about the Proud Boys using the president's word as a rallying cry. Look.
My message to the Proud Boys and every other white supremacist group is cease and desist. That's not who we are. This is not who we are as Americans.
CNBC's Frank Holland with us now. Tell us more about the Proud Boys, what they espouse, what they advocate, where they come from.
Well, Shep, the Proud Boys are an all-male hate group that was formed during the 2016 presidential campaign. Today, experts say they were given a big win by the winner of that election.
Goes in speaking with his rival, and the rival criticized him to his face. Where else but America would that happen? It really didn't happen enough last night.
Michael Beschloss, live tonight. Michael, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sorry for the audio. Work
Pleasure.
from home.
Thank you.
Everyone understands that. In the end, what you think, what you decide is what matters. That's it. You told us what's most important. We'll drill down on those issues in our scientific poll results. Did anything change after last night for you? You gave us answers, but first we asked, was the debate useful? Should there be more? 55% said yes, bring it on. But we also asked, did watching the presidential debate make you feel proud to be an American? 77% said no. the rest of the polls as the news, rolls on in 60 seconds.
The fact.
The presidential debate was chaotic, no doubt. So much so that the nonprofit group that runs the debates announced this afternoon it will be changing the rules going forward to ensure more orderly discussions, as it put it. The next debate is scheduled to have a town hall format in 2 weeks. Despite it all, the candidates did get to the issues, and we're going to focus on the ones you've told us matter the most in our CNBC Change Research poll. First up, COVID-19. We'll hear from both candidates and then from you.
He wants to shut down the country. We just went through it. We had to because we didn't know anything about the disease. Now we found that elderly people with heart problems and diabetes and different problems are very, very vulnerable. We learned a lot. Young children aren't. Even younger people aren't. We've learned a lot. But he wants to shut it down. More people will be hurt by continuing. If you look at Pennsylvania, if you look at certain states that have been shut down, they have Democrat governors all. One of the reasons they're shut down is because they want to keep it shut down until after the election.
COVID-19, not exactly laying out a plan, but he did lay blame for where we are now. Joe Biden put the blame on the president himself.
He waited and waited and waited. He still doesn't have a plan.
Wrong.
I laid out.
An epic high-speed drug bust on the high seas.
The facts, the truth, the news with Shepard Smith, right here on CNBC.
Stocks rally to close out the month and the quarter. Strong economic data helping there. And that's what's on the money tonight. Boeing 737 MAX was back in the air, but just for a test flight. Grounded for 18 months after multiple fatal crashes. The head of the FAA himself in the cockpit. Part of a promise to fly the jet before it's cleared for the rest of us. His take? I liked what I saw. No agreement on a relief deal for Americans. The Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says that and the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi met today, both publicly saying they made progress, but according to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, they are, quote, very, very far apart. And lots of Americans losing their jobs in the past 24 hours. Disney laid off almost 30,000 employees. Shell, Dow, and Marathon Petroleum shed thousands as well. Tomorrow, the major airlines could announce more cuts to their workforces. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 329, the S&P and the Nasdaq up less than 1%. It's 7:30 at CNBC Global Headquarters. It's the bottom of the hour. Time for the top of the news, and COVID is surging again. 26 states seeing a double-digit rise in new cases. 26 states. That's from Johns Hopkins. More than a third of those states are in the Midwest, a new hotspot for cases and hospitalizations. North Dakota local news reporting only 22 ICU beds are left in the entire state. And in Wisconsin, more people died of COVID-19 yesterday than on any day since the month of May. The number of people hospitalized at an all-time high. Restaurants open in the big city for indoor dining. Cases are going up. Just this week, New York's positivity rate jumped from less than 1%, where it had been for like a month or more, to 3%. Two problem areas, specific neighborhoods in Brooklyn and Queens. If the bad COVID numbers hold for 7 days, indoor dining in the Big Apple could end. CNBC's Contessa Brewer is live in Manhattan now. It's been a long time. I don't even remember eating indoors in Manhattan. How are they adapting, Contessa?
You know what? The restaurant owners, Shep, they want to celebrate, but come on, 25% max capacity? That's tough. Inside this restaurant,
California are told, stay on alert. The fires again, more evacuations as high winds fueled the worst fire season in state history. We're live in Calistoga, where tonight crews are keeping a very close eye on a fire burning there. And 2 Los Angeles police officers shot sitting in their patrol car, now after a lengthy manhunt and arrest.
The facts, the truth, the news with Shepard Smith. Back in 90 seconds.
Worst fire season ever recorded in California. Take a look at this map. Fires are really burning up and down that state. And right now, in wine country, the grim facts from fire officials: at least close to 50,000 people forced to evacuate. 80 homes and buildings burned straight to the ground. More than 22,000 caught on camera as the suspect walked up to a squad car and just started firing. Both deputies shot in the head while in 80 seconds. United Kingdom, a royal loss. London's High Court ruling against Meghan Markle in her case involving the British tabloid The Mail on Sunday. Markle sued over articles printed, including parts of a handwritten letter she sent to her estranged father. The tabloid arguing the Duchess had intended some private details to become public. Earlier this year, the couple announced they were quitting royal duties and moving to North America. France, the government's not clowning around. France is banning these wild animals in circuses and marine parks within the next few years, from lions to dolphins. Nearly 400,000 people in the country signed a petition to get a referendum on animals. Spain, crime doesn't pay on land or out at sea. Check out this high-speed boat chasing down a luxury yacht full of marijuana. Spanish police arresting 9 drug smugglers and seizing more than 38 tons of hash. They say it's their largest drug bust ever on the high seas. Outer space. Houston, we don't have a problem. The International Space Station detected a growing air leak. But after searching for several weeks, they successfully traced the source of the problem. These astronauts can now breathe a sigh of relief as they go around the world in 80 seconds. Las Vegas. Crowds of tourists and gamblers are the lifeblood of Sin City. So when the pandemic hit, it crippled the...
Watch an encore presentation of the news tonight, midnight Eastern, CNBC.
Promise more polling data from the debate, and here it is from our CNBC Change Research. Foremost, racial injustice and social unrest have escalated, and the worldwide pandemic has rocked us. It's altered our lives, stressed our families, ravaged our communities, killed our loved ones, and changed the course of human events. Misinformation, disinformation impede our ability to recover. Income inequality makes recovery for some much harder. Here each night we'll cover these issues through journalists and experts, not opinions and pundits, as we approach the vote. Our nation is divided, 2 sides. Fears and dreams deserve thoughtful, honest reporting, without favor or fear. Our mission is to deliver the facts in context and with perspective. Soon we'll be with you from our new state-of-the-art studio. It's coming together just as we have for the news. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow. Shark Tank is next on CNBC.